And welcome back. Well, when it comes to paying for college, there's a lot to learn, but I do know that all the experts seem to agree it's never too early to start saving and start planning.
That is for sure. Kara Kaiser is the managing director of BMO Private Bank. She's here with ways parents and even grandparents can play it smart when it comes to paying for that massive thing that we call a college education.
That's right.
Great to see you.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
It's a big ticket item.
It is, right? But it doesn't have to be stressful, so we can talk through that. We can make it easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
and probably the important thing for people to know is no matter what stage you're at in terms of where your kids are going to college, you know, start now.
That's
There's
right.
always something you can do to improve the picture.
That's right.
Okay, so in your opinion, how early should parents start saving for college?
So, frankly, the way college costs have escalated at almost 3 times the rate of inflation over the last 30 years, you can't start too early. So if you can afford it, the earlier, the better. And every little bit helps. I mean, especially at early ages. So think about that young child, the amount of money that you can save before they even hit first grade. With a modest rate of return on that money can almost double by the time they're ready to go to college. I mean, that is powerful.
So what are you talking about here? How do you get the biggest bang for your buck if you want to start saving? Because especially for young couples with a newborn baby, money can be tight.
So instead of investing in like a savings account or a CD, I strongly encourage parents to look at a 529 college savings plan.
Okay.
So here's how a 529 account works. You transfer money into the account, and like a 401k or an IRA are built for retirement funding, the 529 is built for college funding.
Okay.
You invest the funds, probably a little bit more aggressively for growth when the child is young. You reduce the risk as they get older, and then when that child's ready to go to college, all the earnings, all that growth, everything that money is earned, you can take that out tax-free when you use that money for college expenses, for education expenses.
Can you use it even on things like books or a computer?
Absolutely. So tuition, books, room and board, all of that fits into the bucket for education expenses.
And very often it's transferable, right? So if you have money invested, maybe you have more than one child, you can use it for another, say your one kid gets full ride scholarship, you don't have to pay for anything.
You have flexibility. So you can change the beneficiary. Maybe you do get that unexpected scholarship, you don't need all that money. You can transfer. A parent, a grandparent can transfer it to another child and use that for education expenses.
Okay, so that's good. So grandparents too, you mentioned in there, they can also, do they invest in the same one or do they open their own 529?
Yep, absolutely. So grandparents, you know, the other thing about it too, and grandparents can take advantage of this, you can get a state income tax deduction if you use the Wisconsin EdVest 529 account.
Okay.
Parents, grandparents, you can both get the income tax deduction. So that's why it's such a win-win, right? Because you get the income deduction going in, you get a tax-free withdrawal when you use it for those things. So think about grandparents. Okay, I've got young kids, right? We talked about that. You've got a lot of stuff around your house, right? So toys, everything else. So this is the part where kids cover your ears, right? Grandparents, that next birthday, instead of buying them a toy, maybe think about investing in their future by opening or contributing to a 529 account. All of these benefits you can start to provide and invest in their future.
They're going to think you're boring then, but they're going to thank you later.
Thank you later, right?
Big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that true?
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest questions I think in terms of allocation is for parents, they wonder, should I be saving for college or should I be doing more to invest in my own retirement?
Right. A dilemma most families face, right? A tug of war, where do I put it? So what I usually tell people is if you don't save for retirement, you're kind of out of luck. You're not going to have money drop out of the sky for you later on. Your college student, on the other hand, they can borrow money. They can use their future income to pay that down over time. If you don't save for your retirement now, you're not going to be able to borrow it when you don't have any income. So a couple of things as I look at priorities, right? So then where should we do that? If you have an employer that has a retirement plan where they will match your funds,
Free money.
a number one place, right? Absolutely. It's free money.
Yeah.
So they'll, and really it's 100% return on your investment. So that's the first place to
To the
look.
max?
Absolutely. To the max of what they will match.
Okay.
100%. Secondly, I ask families to take a look at if they have debt, particularly on credit cards, those interest rates can be north of in the double digits, right?
Yeah.
So work toward paying that down because you can borrow with a home equity loan or with student loans at a much lower rate of interest.
Okay.
And you've heard me say this before when I've been on your show in the past. I'm very passionate about working with a trusted advisor to come up with a financial plan. That's what's going to give people confidence and clarity about their financial future. An advisor will get to know you, your family, what's important to you. Then you can make sure that the funds that you've got are allocated properly so that you've got enough in retirement, and then you know at what level you'll be able to support your children with their education expenses.
Yeah, I think it's important to have somebody who knows a little bit more, makes it a little more palatable sometimes to be able to take in some of that financial information. What advice do you have for kids who are starting school this fall?
If you're there right now, kids and families, I've got two pieces of advice, one for parents, one for kids. First, for parents, it's important to realize when your young adult turns age 18, even though you're the parent, you can no longer make medical or financial decisions for them. So that's a big change from what's happened their whole life, so it's important to just plan ahead for that. Okay, so let's use an example. So your child, whether they're at home or they're off at school, they get sick or they get injured, the parent is not going to be able to call and get information from that doctor or that hospital. And if your child is unable to make those decisions on their own, you're not going to be able to make them for you. It's a daunting thought when you think about it.
Yeah, so get your legal documents
Get your
in
legal
order.
documents in place, absolutely. So in that case, it would be really a healthcare power of attorney. A local attorney could set that up for you, or certainly you can talk with your healthcare provider about options there.
These are such important things. Here's where you can learn more and make sure that you're in the safe. It's bmoprivatebank.com/US for more information or to meet with an advisor and get yourself set up. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks.
Great
Great
to see you.
information for
Thank you.
people.
Thank you.